What up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. You too can be great, great, great. This is my Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition, Season 16, Episode 4, Shock to Your System. Now, the episode begins with, we got Jacqueline and Ballistic talking about how Stevie took Bonnie Bella away. Now that Jacqueline is doing well in life, she got her got her all these different television shows going on. Stevie felt like when Jacqueline left him and Jacqueline didn't want to be with him, and she finally got the balls to leave that sorry ass man, that she wasn't gonna make it for, and he was gonna find her back in the strip club. Luckily, that didn't happen. She got her Zeus channel show. She got this show. She's been on other little several shows that she's popped up on. She showed up on Marriage and Medicine. I don't know how much they paid her. Maybe they were trying to try her out there, see if she could, she can be on that show too. But she's finally making some real money, and she's found a man that is basically treating her like a queen, like not treating her like she's a hoe. And Stevie got kind of jealous, and he took Bonnie Bella. Why? I don't know why he would take that little girl from Jocelyn, because from what I understand, he wasn't even paying child support for Mimi's kid, and Mimi never took him to child support course, so it was okay for me to keep the daughter and raise her by herself and pay for her, so far as he's not going to child support. But I bet you Jocelyn went to child support to get Stevie, so he had to find a way to get that baby, so he didn't have to pay nothing. Then we got Audra and Styles P finally showing their true colors in their relationship, because I guess they discussed back home what they were willing to share with the world and what they weren't willing to share with the world. But while they're going through the process, they're realizing something about themselves. This process is really going to help them if they just let loose and open up. So Audra is talking to Styles P. Styles is going off and talking to her like he's one of her video hoes. Audra's getting pissed off. She's like, you ain't finna keep talking to me about like this. When you come home, you need to separate your work attitude, where you're in hip-hop, you're rapping, y'all got that disrespectful, lyrics that y'all use against women and all that kind of stuff. You're not finna bring that home and talk to me. I'm your wife. Styles keeps going off and basically saying how annoying Audra is, and it seems to the point where you could tell that she is tired, because she didn't look at that man. She says, if you want to go, you can go. I'm staying. I'm like, damn. She don't give a damn if Styles leaves or not. As they're fighting, you got the therapist, Dr. G. Was it Dr. Ish? The dude comes walking in, and after they've observed them fighting, and he basically lets them know, listen, y'all have had several marriages within this one marriage, and y'all need to understand what's going on. When Styles cheated, that was your first marriage that ended, because you had to now hit the reset button to get to know each other again. When your daughter passed away, that was another hard hit on your marriage, and you had to hit the reset button, because now you have this emotional breakdown in the system that you have to figure out how to love each other despite the grief. And now you were in a second marriage. When he said that, it hit Audra and it hit home. That was gold right there, because she started crying and really feel like there's a lot of pain that's within this marriage. I don't know. I really hope they can work it out, because they can feel the love that's still there. But I don't know if they'll be able to find their way back to each other's hearts, because when you cheat on somebody, there's a break there. It like breaks your trust. This person that you loved and you trusted with all your heart and you trusted to protect you is not the person who has caused you an unbelievable amount of pain, and you don't know how you're going to deal with it. Then while you're still recovering from that, you got your daughter passed away. That's another hard hit to your heart. Now, not only do you have to figure out how to get over and love this man, but now you got to rely on this person who's supposed to protect you but hurt you to help you get through this process. It's like a mess. And then when you get over that process, you got to now hit the reset button and try to start over. That is a lot on one marriage. But he lets them know that this is your third marriage. You're basically hitting the reset button to try and start again. There will not be a fourth, the way that y'all are interacting with each other. Then we got CeeLo mad because Shani interrupted him last night in the last episode when he was talking to her. She said, I want to take a bath. Come with me. I want to run a bath. He felt like his words were so important that he should not have been interrupted. CeeLo is full of himself. CeeLo cracks me up. He's full of himself, though. I get why he was upset that he got interrupted, but it wasn't that deep. It really wasn't, but I don't know how Shani deals with them. She has a lot of patience, more so than I do. Then we get to the next task. It's the electrocution chairs that, basically try to bring out ways that they fight, and they're going to electrocute each other when they don't like what the other person says. You got CeeLo and Shani going first, and CeeLo, of course, starts speaking in riddles and I don't know if he's trying to write another music, the way he talks to her, but he doesn't even listen to half the shit that she says. She's letting him know that he doesn't listen. When he talks to her, it's almost like he's talking to, he's just talking around in circles, saying nothing much, basically talking bullshit to her. Then CeeLo tells her that he doesn't think that she's as good as she thinks she is, and Shani says that you made me think that there's something wrong with who I am. Damn, that hit me hard. Wait a minute, you're with this girl and you making her feel like her personality is inadequate? That's crazy. But they're shocking each other, and then CeeLo is basically saying that she's trying to project whatever it is she's feeling on him, which I don't feel is accurate, because CeeLo feels like he doesn't do anything wrong. That's what I'm perceiving about his personality. And Shani feels like whenever she's trying to articulate herself to him, the only way that she can get to him is when she's talking to him like another man. And then CeeLo's feeling like, well, I got to put you down back in your place and let you know that you're not a man, you're my woman, so you need to speak to me as such. I'm like, damn, this is just a mess. I didn't expect this from the both of them, but it was crazy. Next, we got Audra and Styles. And of course, Styles is the same thing he's been doing the whole time in this relationship. Audra feels like she is not the problem. She doesn't have any faults, and Styles P's been the problem. For the most part, I would say he's been the problem because of the cheating and stuff like that. However, the way that Audra has communicated her concerns and her problems to Styles P, she's kind of gotten away with some of this stuff because Styles does not want to hurt her because he's seen her grieve and be at her lowest point when they lost their child. So he does what he can to take away all the pain that he can, and it doesn't really get addressed. She sits there. She's not a broken toy, Styles. At this point, the way that you get over something is to let the person grieve appropriately. Don't try to protect them. Let them go through the pain like they're supposed to, and then let them rebuild themselves. You cannot take the pain in your relationship and just let her sit there on the side like she's a porcelain doll that if you drop her, she'll crack into a million pieces. Let her feel whatever she needs to feel. Be honest with her, because that's the way you break through a shell and get to know each other again. But he's basically getting electrocuted left and right. Would electrocute her ass too. But he just took it and just took it and just took it. I was like, wow, okay. Then we got Jacqueline and Ballistic. And of course, Jacqueline wants her marriage timeline, like she's been saying 1,000 times, but everything with her is sexual. Everything. Because she's sitting on that chair and she starts rolling her body and she's simulating this sex moves. And of course, it's enticing because I like the sex moves myself. However, that is not all you have to offer for someone, Jocelyn. You have to have other things within yourself that you want a man to see you for and to, you know, to want to be with you. You can't just sit up here and roll your puss in his face and think that that's enough for him to propose to you. Because Ballistic has said you need to respect me, and you just don't know how. And Ballistic is like, you're not going to tell me when to ask you to marry me, because I'm not going to marry somebody who doesn't know how to treat me like a king. I'm not doing that. Then we got Michelle and Stu. Oh my gosh, this was a hot mess. Miss Stu was like bringing up some issues that weren't really issues. Michelle basically uses the example that when they wake up in the morning, he doesn't want to wake up in the morning, number one. And number two, she wants him to kiss her, tongue kiss her with his morning hot ass breath. You got me fucked up. You're not finna put that gas in my mouth that I might pass out. Oh hell, that is a chamber in your mouth. You are not finna sit up there and can you imagine the dryness, the leftover food from yesterday that may not have it brushed off, because Stu said he don't brush his teeth, and you want to sit up there and want that man to shove his tongue down your throat. That's nasty. Now to her, she feels like it's love for somebody to want to kiss you when you are at your worst. Yes, it is love for somebody, but we don't need to do that unless you need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. There's no need for us to be kissing unless it's an emergency. Just like I'm not going to jump out of a plane unless it's an emergency. Why on earth would you want somebody to make out with you when their breath smells like hot ass and hot garbage? That is disgusting. There's nothing sexy about that. I don't even want you to breathe on me like that. I literally will cover my face with the blanket, let alone stick your tongue down my throat. That is nasty. But I get the analogy she was trying to make, is that she feels like when it comes to what Stu prefers, she pays attention and she goes out of her way to make sure she gives him that. But when it's time for Stu to reciprocate, he does not do that. And she used that horrible ass example to get that point across. And of course, Stu didn't listen. He was just stuck on the fact of, she said, I'm not kissing her in the morning. Like, I don't show affection. I was like, Stu, you are a child. Then we got Joseph and Bianca. Before they even asked him a question, Bianca starts shocking him left and right. I felt bad for that little boy's body. He was like, whoa, hold on. They haven't even asked a question. She goes, that's how I feel. And she's just pushing that button like no control. And Joseph starts apologizing for everything that he did wrong to her. But he's saying it in such like a nonchalant manner that Bianca's like, I don't believe shit you're saying. She shocks him again. I'm like, damn. This couple is very immature, and Bianca needs to grow up. She's very immature, and maybe immature people attract immature people. And I see with children being significantly younger than her, it makes sense that she would be attracted to him because they're both immature. Then we got the next scene. Jocelyn again ends up being in Michelle's relationship, just like she was in Bianca's relationship. I don't know why she feels like she's the one that's got to fix people's relationship when she needs to fix herself and how she treats Ballistic, because she hasn't fixed that at all. But here she is trying to get Stu and Michelle to make out, and oh my gosh, Stu cannot even get himself to make out with her or to kiss her, even when her breath is not hot and it's not morning. I'm like, does she have bad breath in general? Is that why you don't want to kiss her? Because he says, Jocelyn talks to him and said, why don't you go and kiss her? This man gives her a fist bump. That fist bump, that fist get more action than the girl's lips. And she's been complaining that Stu annoys me. At first I thought that Michelet was the issue in the first episode because she kept saying that he's attracted to girls like Jacqueline. But now I see how petty and childish Stu behaves, and the fact that he don't even listen. He hears every other word you say. He don't even listen at all. He annoys the hell out of me, and Jacqueline needs to mind her business. Don't get into Michelet and Stu's problem, girl. Then we got, the next thing we got is the shock tackle course, where they have this obstacle course, and they're supposed to hold hands. They can't let go of their hand. They got to walk through it hand in hand, and if they let go, they get shocked. CeeLo's big ass decided to go over here talking about I'm too sexy for this foolishness. Okay. Then him and Shani are holding hands going through it, but CeeLo's big as hell. They have 5 minutes to get through it. He can barely get through the whole thing because, you know, he's big. He can't go through all these little, you know, he's not that flexible. So he's on the floor rolling around getting shocked left and right. And Shawnee's holding his hand the whole way. But she let go a few times before she get in there. She was like, oh, I'm not going in there. And CeeLo's like, take my hand. And he's like, oh, I'm not going in there. It was funny watching them two to get through it. Then we got Styles P and Adjoa. They really work together well getting through this obstacle course when they are not fighting. They're able to hold hands together and get through it. I really feel like this marriage is salvageable if they're open to it. Then we got Bianca and Chosus, who also did well when they're not fighting. They're competitive though. That's the problem. They just want to win. So when it comes to that, they're both of like mind. Then we got Michelet and Stu, and they did horrible. They kept switching hands left and right. You know Stu don't listen. He didn't hear a single direction that he was saying, that they told him hold hands, the same hands. They had to make him go a second time. I'm like, damn, this couple, I feel like they're the fake couple. Next week, we're going to find out who that is, and it better be them because I don't want to be wrong. Then we got Jacqueline Toller comes out, and she basically lets Styles P know what I said, is you need to fight for your relationship. Stop treating her like she's breakable. Let her know what the issue is. Then we got Shani. They let her know that that she wants a basic conversation with CeeLo, not a freaking riddle. You're not the freaking Sphinx. Tell her the truth and let her know what's going on. Then we got Ballistic and Jocelyn saying that they have a potential to be a great couple if Jocelyn decides to change and understand the type of person that she has, who's apparently willing to take care of her daughter even though it's not his. Jocelyn has a jewel in him, and she better recognize that, oh, I'm going to take him. Then we got Chosus and Bianca's purpose, basically to hurt each other, because all they do is pick and fight and just grow up. They just, oh, you did this to me and you did this to me. It's never going to change. They at this point need to get mother's milk off their breath and learn how to grow up a little bit. Then we got Stu and Michelet, and basically Jacqueline Toller says that Michelet says things 5, 6, 7, 8,000 times and Stu don't hear it, but she says it the same way over and over and over and over again. The definition of insanity is doing something the same way and expecting a different result. If you don't shut your ass up and try something different, this man is going to continue to do what he's been doing this whole time, which is playing your ass and acting like a fool and probably out there cheating on you, because Stu says that he thought that he could marry Michelet until he came here. However, Stu does not listen. He doesn't listen. They asked Michelet to say what she had for breakfast. She said it. The counselors heard it. Dr. Ish, whatever his name, he's got what he said. What Shani Michelet said. Stu didn't hear nothing. He was just like la 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 la. Like he didn't hear nothing at all. It was ridiculous. Then you got Jacqueline Toller telling him that the average person hears a certain amount of words. You just listening, but you're not listening. And of course, if you're not listening, you're not able to change the behavior that she's complaining about. And Stu's, of course, feeling sorry for himself and just focusing on all the negative and thinking, and what all she's trying to make me do is say, I'm the problem, I'm the problem. You are the problem, motherfucker. If you can't hear her, something as simple as her breakfast, bruh, you not listening. You can't nitpick. Well, that's not what she really had for breakfast. She didn't tell the truth. You still not getting the point. Grow up. Then we got them talking about you guys need to practice what love is. Love means listen, understand, and validate. Hear what the person has to say. Listen, validate what they're saying so you can understand that, the meaning of it so you can implement it. Of course, Stu goes, you know what? He doesn't listen because psychology is a basic subject. Nobody practices it in college. Oh my God. He does not. Everything is an excuse for him. Everything. And every time that he raises his hand to say something, everybody in the group is telling him, Stu, shut the hell up. Don't say nothing. You dumb as hell. At this point, Michelle, you have yourself a child. You chose to be with a child. He behaves like a child. You can't change a child who doesn't want to grow up. Sorry, girl. I don't see this relationship as being real. I mean, he said something like, I was going to marry her, but then now I'm here. I don't feel like I'm going to marry her. I don't know if they're separated and they decided to see if this, this boot camp will help and make it work. Or who do you think is the fake relationship here? I don't think it's CeeLo and Shani. I don't think it's Styles and Adjoa. I don't think it's Ballistic and Jacqueline. It's either Stu and Michelle or Chosen and Bianca. But I'm thinking it's Michelle and Stu. Maybe they broke up, but they wanted to come here to see if it's even possible for them to rectify. Who knows? But then we got Stu saying that Michelle needs to be diagnosed because she may have paranoia. Men like him don't take responsibility for nothing. And Michelle, you got your hands full because this man ain't it. Anyway, please like, subscribe, and notification bell. I'm a little tired, so I don't want to do the other two because I don't want it to be like a lazy doodle, the Black and Crew or the Growing Up Hip Hop. I might do it tomorrow. It's a little bit behind, but at least you guys get the juice. Or maybe the day after, because I know Love and Hip Hop is also doing tomorrow, and I want to make sure that y'all get the best of the reviews, not the last. I love the Real Housewives of Atlanta review. I want you guys to check it out because this one was a good show. It was something that y'all needed to see because it really had a turning point on this season. And also with this review, I'm going to do the next review. Hopefully it's much more entertaining. We're supposed to get a reveal on who the fake relationship is next week. And also we're supposed to, the lie detector test portion will be coming up soon. And somebody told a lie. All right, please like, subscribe, and notification bell. You guys have a good evening. Bye.